We are coming to you live from Orlando, Florida, home of the UCF Knights. Don't call them Central Florida. They do not like to be called Central Florida. They think it makes them sound like a directional. And for a school with the highest on-campus enrollment in the country, if I'm not mistaken, they think of themselves as a major university. This is the bounce house, so called because its structural integrity is questionable, and when the crowd gets rowdy, the stands sway. So that's a disaster waiting to happen. And as per usual, the undefeated Knights and their crowd are rollicking in the early going. Those stands are shaking, and they are hosting the Georgetown Hoyas, a pretty feisty squad that has underperformed their peripherals just a little bit. They have a good roster. They're slightly favored by Vegas coming into this game, even on the road. So we should have a pretty good one here. And Georgetown, the away team, is going to choose the coin toss. The call is heads, and it is heads. Georgetown will elect to defer their choice to the second half and try to trust their defense on the opening drive of this ballgame. Ty Smith, the kicker for the Hoyas, going to launch this one deep, and it will be fielded in the end zone by Israel McHugh of UCF, who will take it out but be dropped shy of his own 10. Great special teams from the Georgetown Gunners, and they will quickly pin the Knights back deep. On first down, Darion Green coming out to lead his team into battle. He will complete a first down pass to Cade Laird, gain of 5 on the play, and then a handoff right up the middle, good for another 5 and a first down from Laird. Ensuing first down now, Green drops back, play action. Pressure comes, he gets rid of it quickly, but Kevin Onyebule cannot reel it in. Second down and long upcoming. He steps up into the shotgun this time and takes the snap. Looking, he's got coverage on his left. He's got coverage on his right, but over the middle, there's a little crease in the zone. He finds that crinkle, and it's Onyebule once again. This time, hands are good. He's able to haul it in, and he's got a first down and a little more out to the UCF 39-yard line. They'll go no huddle now. Dropping back, looking for John Johnson, but he overthrows it, and they'll settle it back down. Take their time getting the signs in from the sideline. Another drop back on second down, looking for Jimmy Long. And Long catches it shy of the line to gain, but makes a man miss, and that is enough for another UCF first down. This crowd is feeling it early. Laird takes a first down handoff, left side. He is met quickly, fights for an extra yard. It'll be about 3 when all is said and done. So John Johnson will come into the backfield for Laird, and he will take it right up the middle, and a bad run fit by the outside linebacker there. It's going to leave a big gap for Johnson. He is going to have enough for the first down. Into Georgetown territory already are the Knights. Green, 2-yard carry off the right side. Defense looked like they were expecting that QB run, and they sniffed it out quickly. So on second down, they go back to some more straightforward between the tackles running. Charles Marshall's first carry, good for about 7, maybe 8 yards off left guard, and that is just enough for the first down. Green, first down drop back, looking for Crawford in the end zone, but it's overthrown. He had a step for a moment, but it was a tight window, and Green just sailed it wide. Better safe than sorry. On second down, he drops back, and he sets up a screen to Charles Marshall, who's got a big head of steam and some running room, and he will be dropped after enough for a first down. UCF, a methodical drive here, getting yards in 5s and 10s. 10:44 in the first quarter, and they'll go on the ground, but John Johnson is met at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Great defense from the Hoyas, and they will be walled off. 2nd and 10 upcoming. Green, 2nd down, drop back out of the pistol. He's rolling to his right, looking for Laird in the moving pocket, and incomplete. He threw it just a little bit in front of him, and the receiver couldn't drag his feet inbounds. So 3rd and long upcoming now, and Green, straight drop back. He's got a man, but pressure's coming. He throws it up for grabs, and Onyegbule, he's got it, but he stay in the end zone? The officials confer. The hands go up, and it's a touchdown for UCF. Great throw and catch, and you see just the slightest hint of green grass in the back of the end zone. That will make our score 6-0. The extra point from William Sharp is up and good. 9:47 to play, and we have our first score of the ball game. UCF leads at home. Sharp, the kicker, he will blast this one into the end zone where it will not be returned. And cornerback Whit Brewster, playing special teams for the Knights, comes up holding his left shoulder. He's favoring it. Of course, he gets off the field under his own power, and we will check in on that if we receive an update later. Georgetown comes out for their first offensive drive, trying to hold serve here. Connor Price, the Georgetown quarterback, looking to the sideline for some signals, and the play clock is ticking down. He takes the snap. He's scrambling already to the right. This looks like a bit of a busted play, but the defense doesn't account for Price's legs, and he slides down after a gain of 8. Great job making something out of what looked like a confused play off the snap. 2nd down and short now, and a handoff to Devin Lamb, but he is met in the backfield, and he will just barely fight past the line of scrimmage. 3rd and short. It's a play action. Price rolling to his left, and he throws across his body to Connor Allen, who cannot quite reach to get that one. It was not an accurate throw, but it was close enough that the receiver ought to have made a play on it. And at their own 34, Georgetown's not going to go for it this early. They're just going to punt it and play the field position game. Donnie Murphy, the punter, in for the Hoyas. It's a high punt, not very deep, and John Johnson is going to put a move on a man, and he will have this one for a 5, 10, 15-yard gain on that punt. So it'll be about a 30-yard net. UCF will have good field position on their second offensive drive. They went to the air a lot on that first drive, and this second one will be no different. Charles Marshall catches the slant and runs for a first down and then some. And then going no huddle, Darion Green hands off to Laird, but good run defense. He's met by 2 linebackers and dropped, gain of just 2. On 2nd down, Green drops back. He throws an out route to Danny Crawford, but he throws it well short of the receiver, just kind of short-armed it on his release. Didn't get a very good handle on it off the snap, maybe, and that's going to set up 3rd and long. 3rd and 8 now, just under 8 minutes in the quarter. Green drops back, fakes the play action, and looking for Al McClinton. He's got him, but he is going to be tripped and dropped shy of the line to gain, deep in their own territory here, or I guess approaching midfield, I should say. But their own side of the 40-yard line. Georgetown is leaving the offense on the field, or at least considering it. And Coach Jack is considering his options here. The Riverboat Gambler is going to live up to his reputation. He is going to leave his guys out there to take a shot at it. Green lines up under center. Now he adjusts, steps back into shotgun, takes the snap. Defense brings pressure. Green steps up, avoids a rusher. He lets it loose for Marshall, who's got it in stride, and he is tripped up, but not before a first down and a lot more. A 24-yard throw and catch, and Darion Green converts and rewards his coach's faith in the Georgetown red zone now. They will take their time and make some adjustments. They will throw to Al McClinton out of the backfield. Kind of an interesting look in motion there. And that swing gets a lot. 8 yards, sets up second and short. Green drops back on second down, and he finds Anya Boulay again for a touchdown in the corner. He will take this one untouched. And UCF struck so quickly on this drive that Georgetown's defense didn't have a lot of time to react. They thought they had this drive snuffed out, maybe let their guard down a little bit, and the fourth down conversion really caught them aback. The extra point from Sharp will stretch this to a 14-0 game, and the kickoff, fielded at the 3, will be returned by Alex Rose. He will be dragged down after a decent return, and Georgetown, when we return from commercial, will have this at the 24. Modest field position, but they need to score or at least show some offensive life on this drive to keep the game in play. I'm going to top off. Sorry for the early commercial interruption. We are back in Orlando, and this crowd has been taken out of the game just a little bit by that media timeout, but as their defense takes the field, they get back into it full-throatedly. Connor Price, who has struggled early in this ballgame, is going to try to rally his troops. He starts with a handoff to Bud Simmons, but good defense from UCF. They will bottle him up after a short gain. They'll stick with Simmons on second down, and he'll get another 4. So third and manageable now. Price lines up in the shotgun, and it's a draw, but the defense isn't fooled. Price with the QB draw, but he is going to be dropped for a big loss, and that is going to force a Georgetown punt. A quick 3 and out, not at all what they needed. Donnie Murphy back out to punt again. This one is a better effort than his first punt. It's got a little bit of power and a little bit of height. Johnson's going to take it at a bit of a clip, and he will be dropped after maybe 8 or 9 yards on the return, just enough to set UCF up at their own 35 or so. First down, Darion Green coming back out, and this offense has been clicking early. On first down, he looks for Danny Crawford, who will catch the slant and be dropped just short of the line to gain. And they'll go quickly here, trying to rush to the line, and they will pull it off. Cade Laird is going to push his way across the line to gain for a first down and a little more. There is a flag on the play, but that is going to be on the Georgetown defense, and so declined. With under 3 in the quarter, Georgetown slows it down a little bit. They hand off to John Johnson. He will gain 7. And then Darion Green is going to keep it himself on a read option keeper left side, enough for a first down and already down to the Georgetown 30. They are really putting some pressure on the Hoyas to try and stay in this game. First down, they'll stay with the ground until Georgetown shows they can stop it. Laird gets 3, and a good response from the Hoyas, who'd started to get leaned on a little bit. Green drops back. He's got good protection. He takes a check down to Crawford, who stiff arms the first defender to reach him, and he works his way out to the 16-yard line of Georgetown. It's going to be a first down, a handoff to Johnson. He is going to be dropped for a short gain, maybe 2 yards. Defense stiffening up here inside the red zone. On second down, Darion Green is going to drop back to pass, and it's a delayed blitz from Georgetown, and the offensive line doesn't pick it up. Ben Stewart gets there, and Green just eats this football. He is going to be dropped for a huge loss. Ben Stewart, the defender, first to reach him, and that is going to drive them way back. 3rd and 18 upcoming. Green isn't going to chance it on third down. He just hands it off to Laird, who will set this up for a center cut field goal. They'll walk William Sharp on there in no particular hurry, and the chip shot from 35 is up and good. So 17-0 already in this ball game. But for Georgetown, that was really a good stand to keep this from getting out of control early. Defense rose up and made a play when they had to. We'll see if the offense can get it in gear. Sharp kicks off. Return team will let it go out for a touchback. And Price is going to come into the game. He takes the snap. It's an option, but unlike UCF, Price does not pull this one off. He should have given it, and he kept it instead. He's dropped a little bit behind the line. We're early here in the second quarter, about 13 and a half to play till halftime. And Price will hand off again, already getting conservative, maybe just trying to minimize the damage and think about getting to the locker room. Simmons will be stopped for maybe half a yard. On third down now and long, Price will drop back. He's got good protection, and he looks for Norman. It's going to be a little bit wide, incomplete pass. Good idea there. He had a little bit of a crease, but Price couldn't connect him. It is early in the second quarter. We've got 12:41 to play in Q2. There will be a punt, but we are going to have a delay of game on the Hoyas. Looks like they only had 10 men on the field, and they were trying to get an extra gunner out there and couldn't get him. So they're going to be driven back even further for this punt, but maybe that'll help Murphy. He can just put his full leg into this. UCF comes after this punt, but Murphy gets it away. It's good. A lot of hang time on this one, but John Johnson has been elusive after catching the ball. He takes this one, wiggles free. He's got 10, 15, and tripped up by the shoestrings. 18 yards and out to midfield. So another drive with favorable field position for UCF. And Connor Price has really been leaving his defense with a lot of work. It's going to be a first down handoff to Laird. He is going to take this right side off tackle and plenty of running room. He will be down. No, the ball is out. There's a scramble for it, and UCF thinks they've fallen on it, and the officials agree. That could have been a huge change in the tide of this game, but UCF's Darius Thurston manages to get this, fall on top of it, and save the possession for the Knights. Really tough break there for Georgetown, who was really attacking that ball, trying to force it free. And now on first down, they bring pressure, but Darion Green beats it. Danny Crawford's in the open field, and he will scoot into the end zone for a 30-yard touchdown, and the route might be on. The extra point from Sharp makes it 24-0, and UCF in complete control here early. Sharp kicks off, and Rose will return this. Rose has been a rare bright spot in this game for Georgetown, salvaging pretty good starting field position. And now signs of life for the Georgetown offense as Bud Simmons explodes off the line for a 10-yard gain and a first down. Now Georgetown will take their time trying to get the play in, but that's just going to give the defense some time to adjust. Simmons runs into a wall of defenders. He bounces off and gets a little bit more, so 2nd and 6 upcoming for the Hoyas. Second down pass play. Terry Adams does haul this one in, but he is shepherded out of bounds for no gain. Oshosi Olokin of UCF is coming up holding, looks like his left leg. Hard to tell from this angle. He will walk off with some assistance. So UCF losing a couple of players in this one early. On 3rd and 6, UCF stays home. They don't bring pressure. Price has plenty of time to throw. And finally, somebody breaks loose. It's Teddy Akins, who will slip away for a 13-yard catch. He'll slide to the ground untouched. And that is going to set Georgetown up in UCF territory for the first time today. Chance to muster a drive here as the quarter starts to wind down. Terry Adams takes the toss, right side. He beats his man to the edge, and that's going to be a big gain, 9 yards. They'll bring Simmons and 2 tight ends. Simmons goes behind the heavies, and he will have enough for the first down. So Georgetown putting together a nice, crisp drive here. Price drops back on first down, looking for Barber. Pressure comes, but Price gets rid of it quickly. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd down. Jaden Norman in the game for the Hoyas, and he will take this one. Another big run increase off that right side. Georgetown getting some push on the offensive line now. This one's going to be a gain of 9, sets up 3rd and 1 at the UCF 29-yard line. Price. Rollout looking right, and he tries to find Akins, but he can't squeeze it in between 2 defenders in zone. So 4th and 1 now. It's a no-brainer. You got to go for it. They bring in the heavies again. It's going to be power against power. Price hands off to Bud Simmons, who he bounces off a tackler. He goes up over the top on the second effort, and he is met by the UCF linebacker, and he will be brought down for no gain. Met in force, and Georgetown will turn it over. Man, even the little things going right for UCF. This would have been a consolation score, and they still can't pull it out. So UCF got 6:30 to play and all their timeouts. Let's see if they can extend this advantage before the break. Johnson, carry on first down. He will fight his way for another first down. And UCF finally taking off the gas here. They're not going to go no huddle. They'll let the clock tick. But they come out throwing, and Anyek Boule, who has been everywhere in this half, has a first down catch into Georgetown territory again. Green hands off to Laird, who's got 7, and then the Georgetown defense meets him on 2nd down, holding him to no gain. On 3rd down, Green picks apart the defense who was sitting back in zone, and Zachary Martin will have a 13-yard first down catch. On the edge of the Georgetown red zone, Green takes a deep shot against pressure, and Danny Crawford, his 2nd touchdown of the game. Anyek Boule has 2, Crawford has 2, and this is going to really set this crowd on fire. It's going to make the score 30-0 and 31 with the extra point. You know, Coach Rice is going to have to really work hard to keep his team in this game at the half. On the road against a hostile crowd and just really getting the tar beat out of you. It's going to take a lot to try to get back into this game. Sharp kicks off, and Alex Rose continues to be explosive. As a 24-yard return out past the 30 for Georgetown. Price drops back looking for Akins and can't complete it. But on second down, Terry Adams slips loose. It was close to the line of scrimmage, but he makes a lot happen after the catch. There's a 14-yard gain and a first down. Price drops back again looking for Lamb, but it's going to be incomplete. But we have a defensive penalty. Jovan Johnson of UCF lit up the quarterback after the play was over, and that's going to take this into UCF territory. 2:24 left in the half. Teddy Akins takes this on the ground for 13 yards, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Price drops back looking for Norman, and on the short swing, he will catch this one and step out of bounds. 1:48 left. Price drops back looking, and he's retreating. He's trying to outrun Mike Winters and can't do it. He's going to be dragged down. Oh, Price really made a poor decision there. You got to get rid of that football. 3rd and 14, Price looking for Lamb and can't hit him. You got to think Georgetown's considering a quarterback change at the break. They're on the edge of field goal range. Ty Smith has some leg, but this one would be from 50. They're thinking about punting it, but they will give Smith a shot. And, it was an accurate kick, but it just didn't have the distance. Smith short from 50. You see the logic. They could have made it a 4-score game there. And with 1:30 to play, UCF is going to try to just run this clock out and get into the half with a big lead. They set up a behind the line of scrimmage swing pass to Crawford, but that's incomplete. So they'll just hand off to Laird on 2 straight possessions. But Georgetown is using their timeouts. They want to score before the break. They will get this ball back before halftime, forcing a Tyler Albert punt. Alex Rose returns this to the Georgetown 16. But ultimately here, Georgetown is going to run out of time. Terry Adams catches this one for a gain of 28 yards. But before they can set up anything serious, they're going to watch the clock tick to zeros. And frustrating for Georgetown there as they started to have some momentum on offense at the end of the half, but they couldn't string anything consistent together. And if there's any consolation, it's that they will start with the football out of the break. So 31-0, UCF leads on their home soil. The Hoyas looking to rally going into the locker room. I'm going to go get some water out of the freezer from today's feature sponsor, Sonny. Our original sponsor for this game was Dole Whip, but unfortunately I am out. So any second half predictions? Is this going to be a real beatdown? Is this going to be a comeback for the ages? Where are we sitting? All right, we got 1 vote for comeback. And as we come back, William Sharp kicks off. Rose is going to return this one. He's going to be dropped shy of his own 20. But Connor Price, still in the game, vote of confidence from his head coach, is going to come out firing. He finds Devin Lamb for 19 yards and a first down. Georgetown not wasting any time. They go no huddle, hand off to Norman, and then on second down, a rollout to the right. They find Lamb again for 6. 3rd and 3 upcoming. And it's a short slant to Richard Barber. He's met quickly, but he's got the first. So Georgetown takes their time now. About 2 minutes have ticked off since the start of the half. And a couple of incompletions here on first and second down. Set up a third down and long. Georgetown goes to the ground. Jaden Norman gets 9 of the 10 that they need. Georgetown in their second 4th and 1 situation of the ball game. First one they were stuffed. We'll see if the call is any different. They've got one tight end right side. It's a handoff to Norman right behind the center, and he will get it. He explodes for the first and a little more into UCF territory now. Norman is bottled up. Terry Adams will take a second down carry for a gain of 5. And then on third down, it's a slow mesh play action. Richard Barber is loose in the open field. Price finds him in stride. He's got 15, 20, 26 yards before he is reeled in. And now down to the UCF 11. Best drive of the game so far, by far. Price drops back. Defense already hands on hips. Adams is in the end zone, and he brings this one down in stride. An 11-yard touchdown grab for Adams, who beat his man off the line and didn't look back. The extra point from Smith is up and good, and Georgetown, a 6-minute drive to establish themselves on offense, and this one might not be over. This one's kicked off by Smith, and it's not a great kickoff, but good coverage from the special teams downfield will hold UCF to their own 25. Darion Green drops back originally looking for Laird, and ends up settling for a check down to Jimmy Long on the right side, incomplete. On second down, they'll hand off to Laird, and he'll get 3, and they'll just stick with him. They'll give it to him, and he will force his way out for 8 and a first down. So 1st and 10, UCF's 38-yard line. It's a short screen to Cade Laird lined up in the slot. He'll get 5. And then after an incompletion on second down, Al McClinton works his way open and gets a little bit after the catch for another UCF first down. So Georgetown's offense has found their way back into this game, but their defense didn't get the memo. Johnson receives this one for 5, and then takes the next carry for another first down. Anya Boulay is going to receive this one at about the Georgetown 32, but it is going to fall harmlessly to the turf. He couldn't reel it in. And then on 3rd and 10, it is a handoff to Cade Laird, who is going to, on 2nd and 10, it's a handoff to Cade Laird, but he is going to be met by the Georgetown defense, who wakes back up. It's going to set up 3rd and long, and Georgetown brings pressure. Green beats it again, finding Danny Crawford deep in Georgetown territory, but there is a flag in the backfield, and this one may come back. Yeah, the rusher had Andrew Irby beat badly, and he grabbed a fistful of jersey to keep him off Darion Green. That is going to drive this back to 3rd and 20 now at the Georgetown 42. It'll be a short handoff, and not getting enough to put him back in field goal range. Tyler Albert of UCF is going to punt this one. He tries to kill it, but it rolls into the end zone, and Georgetown will take over. 3:58 left, so if nothing else, UCF at least killed a lot of clock on that drive. Price drops back, looking for Allen on first down, but can't find him. So they go back to the ground. Bud Simmons gets about half the yardage that they need. And 3rd and 5 upcoming. Price drops back. He steps up to avoid the first rusher, and he finds Terry Adams on the left side of the field. Safety comes down to play it, but not in time to prevent the first down. And Price looking and reading, and this one is complete to Teddy Akins for 19, maybe 20 yards. and he is hit hard and fighting for more yardage, and the ball is out. Israel McHugh punches it out and drops on it. Incredible. But there's another flag on the play, and they're going to say that McHugh got there before the ball reached the receiver. Pass interference. I'm trying to work out the physics of this call, how he could get there before the ball does and then force a fumble, but I'm not going to think too hard about it. In any event, Georgetown is going to have the football at their own 39 and a fresh set of downs to play with. That may be the hand of God that they needed in this ball game. So Price hands off to Simmons, and Simmons takes off for a big gain, 15 yards and into UCF territory. Another handoff, this time for 2, and then he will be stuffed. So on 3rd down and long, you'd expect Price to go to the air, and what do? They hand off the ball to Simmons for the 4th time in a row. And he gets a little bit, but not enough for the first down. And when we come back for the 4th quarter, 4th and 6 at the UCF 42, we'll have a decision for Coach Rice. Any predictions? Go for it. Punt it. Kick it. 60-yard field goal. Oh. If anybody was betting, you would have lost your money. Donnie Murphy of Georgetown is going to punt this football 50 yards for a touchback. In a 4-touchdown game in the 4th quarter, they're going to punt the football. And it will set UCF up at their own 20-yard line. But maybe they are playing the long game here, because after a Darion Green scramble gets him 6 yards, UCF is going to throw incomplete, get whistled for a delay of game, and then throw incomplete again. So only a minute comes off the clock, and Georgetown will have the chance to field a punt. Alex Rose will be dropped quickly, but it wasn't a very long punt. So UCF goes 3 and out. Georgetown takes over at their own 45. I guess Coach Rice knew something we didn't. Price drops back looking for Norman on 1st down, incomplete. On 2nd down, a handoff to Simmons, and he will get 4, maybe 5, so 3rd and manageable. Price drops back looking for Lamb, and it's a good throw, but it's broken up by the corner who got there just in the nick of time. So 4th and 6, the Georgetown 49. What do you think Georgetown's going to do this time? 13 minutes to play. Same basic field position. And you bet right. Donnie Murphy is going to launch this one into the end zone for a touchback. Make sense of this one if you can. And this defense just continues to will their offense forward, because Darion Green drops back on 1st down, and Nick Monday of Connecticut, of Georgetown, is taking his frustrations out on the quarterback. He brings Green down for a big loss. Mike Fuller comes up a little bit lame, but walks off under his own power. Cade Laird takes a handoff, setting up 3rd and 6. And then Darion Green drops back to pass for some reason, and Zach Peterson brings him down. It's a loss of 10. So Tyler Albert punts this one, and it's a really nice punt, 59 yards, Rose with a good return. So Georgetown punts this ball and plays the field position game and loses 10 yards on the exchange. Inspired. 10:24 to play. And now Georgetown's really got to go. Simmons takes this one only for a yard, but he does get out of bounds. And then on second down, Terry Adams breaks loose, 18 yards and a first down. Georgetown is in full-on deep strike mode. It's a handoff to Norman. They get 7. They go quickly, and Bud Simmons is going to fight his way for a first down. Sherrod Sims, the tackler, is going to get called for a face mask, and that's going to take him into the UCF red zone. We're really moving now. Price takes the snap. He scrambles and throwing on the run, he finds Terry Adams for a first down throw and catch. It's going to be goal to go from the 7, and they're going to take the snap here. They're going to find Adams again. He beats his man off the line for the second time in this half, and it's a 7-yard touchdown. So Georgetown scores in 2 minutes from their own 39-yard line. We're going to be in 2-minute drill territory the rest of the way. It's going to be a 2-point conversion attempt, which would make this a 2-score game if they can convert it. Price lines up in shotgun. And it's a delayed give, looks like a read option, and Bud Simmons is going to bully his way through 2 tacklers and force his way across the line for a score. Cuts the lead to 31-15 Knights. Georgetown considers an onside kick for a moment, but they're going to kick this one away, and it's fielded at the 5. Israel McHugh takes it out to about the 30. UCF needs a drive here just to stabilize things. Johnson takes this one, gain of 4, and UCF playing classic ball control offense here, uses a timeout after 3 seconds tick off the clock. I cannot understand that for the life of me. Green hands off, this time to Cade Laird, who will get 4. So 3rd and short. This play isn't exactly for the game, but it's close because this will allow them to tick another 2 minutes off if they get this first. So Darion Green lines up under center. Johnson takes the straight give up the middle, and the defense surges, and they push him back off the line, and UCF is going to have to punt this football away with 7:45 to play. It's not a very good punt from Tyler Albert, kind of off the corner of his foot, and Alex Rose, another good return. Only a 21-yard net for UCF. Georgetown will have the ball at almost midfield. 1st and 10 at the 44. Price drops back. He's looking for Akins, incomplete. But they should really only be looking for one man, and that's Terry Adams, who on second down emerges from the shadows for a 21-yard catch and run into UCF territory. On 3rd down now, or on 1st down now, Price drops back looking for Allen, incomplete. So Price drops back, looking and scanning the field. He'll settle for Akins, who's not been particularly effective today, but this one is dropped, and that actually ends up helping Georgetown. It keeps some time on the clock. But now they give it all back by handing off on 3rd down to Bud Simmons, who will not get the first down. Oh, and this is going to be a real head-scratcher of a decision. Down by 16 points, Georgetown is bringing on Ty Smith to attempt a field goal. Smith from 48. It's up and good. There's a flag on the play. Jordan Lousy, one of the special teams blockers for Georgetown, is flagged for taunting down 2 scores. And they'll take the points off the board. So 4th and 21 at about midfield. Donnie Murphy will punt. And now, of all moments, he chooses not to punt it into the end zone, but to let it die at the UCF 12. And there's a block in the back on UCF. So they'll be driven inside their own 10. This is the worst field position of the day for UCF. So I guess Rice knew what he was doing. This is actually the stupidest game I've ever seen. So on first down, UCF finally does what they should have been doing the whole time and runs the damn ball. Cade Laird takes it for 8. And on second down, they throw for Danny Crawford, who will get this one for a first down. They'll throw a short pass to Cade Laird, good for 4. But then 2 handoffs in a row are good for a loss and no gain. So with 3:15 to play, Tyler Albert will be forced to punt once again. Alex Rose will fair catch this at the 36. So 3 minutes 15 to play. Georgetown has all their timeouts, but they don't have any time to waste. Price hands this off to Norman. It's good for a gain of 7, but way too much clock ticks off, almost 30 seconds. Price drops back looking for Adams and gets 4, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning as he can't get out of bounds. And now finally, Georgetown realizes they need to be throwing deeper down the field. They find Adams for 25, and he's quickly pushed out of bounds. And then they drop back, and they find Adams again, and he will once again fight his way out of bounds after nearly being brought down inbounds. We're inside the UCF 20 in about a minute and a half of game time, and Georgetown hasn't used any timeouts. Price hands off to Norman. He'll get 7, and then inside the 10, they'll hand off to Simmons again. He's going to race for the pylon. The defender can't beat him, and it's a Georgetown touchdown. With a minute 19 on the clock, the Hoyas have a chance to cut this ball game to a 1-score game. Price lines up in the shotgun. It's a toss out of shotgun, and Jaden Norman beats the defender to the pylon to the other side. The 2-point conversion is good, and we have a 1-score game in Orlando. This crowd is stone silent. With a minute 19 left, Georgetown at this point, they might as well go onside with all their timeouts. They have a chance to get the ball back either way. They line up, the hands team's out there, and it's a good onside, high and bouncing. But they had a wide receiver out there on the return team, and he goes up and gets this ball and quickly smothers it. So UCF has the ball at the 47. Georgetown's going to have to use their timeouts effectively. On first down, Cade Laird takes this one, but this is an all-out blitz. I think Georgetown brought 10 men to blitz, and they will bottle Laird up for a huge loss. It's going to be a loss of 4, and Georgetown will use their first timeout. So on second down, that kind of blows away the go for the first down uh, on the ground. And now UCF comes out throwing, trying to kill this game off. I mean, they got their lead by gambling and then they got conservative. So Green drops back looking for Crawford and he throws incomplete. I can see what they were trying to do, catch the defense napping, because a first down seals this game. But it doesn't pay off. And now on third down, you've got to run the ball and force him to use a timeout. It's a handoff to Laird. He doesn't get very much. It's going to be 4th and 12. It's a clear punt situation. Georgetown uses a timeout with 1:08 to play. It's going to be 4th and 12. The punt from Albert is a good one. Alex Rose is going to step out of bounds after a short return at about the 20. Georgetown has a timeout, so they can call whatever they want to call here. And they call a run on first down, and they get 9, but they have to burn that timeout right away. So they're at their own 25, just under a minute to play. Chance to tie this game. Price lines up in shotgun. He takes the snap. He's looking. He's got plenty of protection. The defense brings a delayed rusher, but he's picked up easily. Price is going to take a shot deep down the field. Only one man to beat. It's up for grabs. It's a 50-50 ball, and DeAndre Adams of UCF is going to haul in this interception, and he is jubilant in the defensive backfield. He is mobbed by that entire night defense, which is gassed, having spent the entire second half on the field. And Georgetown, after seemingly being dead to rights, fought their way all the way back to a one-score game. But Connor Price took an ill-advised deep shot on second down and short, and that will be it for the Hoyas' comeback. Darion Green will kneel the ball twice, and UCF escapes with their lives and not much else. UCF 31, Georgetown 23, your final.